We are here today to announce that the Justice Department has secured felony guilty pleas from the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange, Binance.
Actually, it's Binance.
Binance.
Binance. Largest virtual.
Binance.
Binance. And let me be clear. It's Binance.
Binance.
Binance. Council has discussed crypto regulations and legislations at length, and we have come to the conclusion that instead of regulating, we are going to ape a fat bag each into laptop and pump it to over $1,300,000,000,000,000,000,000,000 market cap. Let's fucking go, crackheads.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Crypto Morning Coffee. I got my coffee locked and loaded, ready to go, because it's time for another pump stream as Bitcoin is hitting 122,000 per coin and is actually on the move. Further, I could not even make thumbnails so fast as Bitcoin is reaching new highs. So the thumbnail already outdated while I was going live. Anyways, we are going to look at where Bitcoin is going, what is happening at the moment, why is it pumping, what's going on with altcoins, is retail coming now finally to the party late as always, or what is happening here. We are going to discuss all of that, and obviously we are going to look at our favorite altcoins that are on this thumbnail in the altcoin spotlight, how they are doing in this environment. So make sure to stay all the way through. So good morning, each and every one of you. Look at that beautiful pump here out of this previous bull flag to on our journey to 135,000. Right now we already are past 100,000, something that seemed a little bit far off still only weeks ago. Here in the beginning of July, 1 week ago, we wouldn't really think that we are now already beyond 122,000. So this is amazing. Looking at the bigger picture here a little bit, we are seeing that we follow exactly that trajectory, right? That we have outlined here with the flag pole to the flag to the target here on the upside. We are now about 13,000 away from target. I am very confident that we are going to hit that. Will there be corrections on the way? Yes, I thought personally that the 120k range would be a psychological barrier. It seems it's none of that. No one cares. And that is really amazing. Now, looking at the weekly, we really see that there are no corrections at all, basically, since the bottom of this flag. It's just 4 green candles in a row. So there will be probably more drawdowns and heavy drawdowns, right, towards certain key levels. But we have retested our areas here, so the journey is open. We are in price discovery, and the next key levels are just clean psychological marks. 130k, 135 maybe as a target here would be where I would expect choppiness. Before that, unknown. Could happen, could not happen, right? Let's look quickly at the monthly just so we can reassess our position here. And zooming really far out, we see our inverse head and shoulders that we have here forever. We do have our back test here on the neckline. I know that some people are drawing in this inverse head and shoulders like this, and now they only have a breakout here. I don't know. I'm not a fan of this because this here worked out clean and perfectly and gets to the targets as it seems. So I'll stick with this one, but feel free, right? I just wanted to show you that this version of TA also exists, right? Where you have here an inverse head and shoulders, where basically this is up here, right? But anyways, it doesn't really matter at this point. It's just a TA version. What matters, in my opinion, is where are we with the TSI, and the TSI is now looking up very straight. It looks more to the direction of hitting our target here somewhere in September, which, by the way, would coincide with the 500 days rule, right? 500 days after halving would be 2nd of September. Nonetheless, let's observe how the TSI behaves, because if you have correction, then it prolongs again. Before we had it already at an outlook to October, now it's September, so let's just observe where the TSI comes out, and then also the month is still 2 weeks long, right? A quick look at how the RSI behaves. RSI is now at 74, so there is much more room to grow for Bitcoin, so we are good here. And as announced before, bull cross happened 2 months ago. We are on our trajectory really, really nicely. And as said in the chat, thank you, Trucking Hank, lots of shorts getting liquidated as well. That is true. And they have to cover their positions by basically buying coins, right? So that is happening, but also the macro environment is ready. A quick look here at the news, by the way. Bitcoin is back in the news, and it hasn't been for quite some time, even though being above 100K, because once it doesn't move, no one really looks at it, right? But here we see it on CNBC main page. Bitcoin hits new all-time highs as it crosses past 100,000, fueled by ETF inflows. These are the headlines that you really need to get retail excited, because obviously there are two messages in here. First of all, again, all-time highs. Secondly, you can buy them via ETF, and buying them via ETF means it's a legitimate asset, right? We see it in our Google search trends. We have now just pumped from 19 to 28 on the scale, whereas altcoins only moved from 3 to 4. So altcoins still not there yet, and NFTs are flatlining at 1 still. But this is all expected based on the history, as you see here. I'm not going to go too deep into that. I made a video about this, by the way, about all of this happening over, I think it must be 1.5 years ago at least. And once we are in this phase, and once it's all over, we might pull it up and react to the old video again. But I made a video about this, basically predicting how this is going to look, and then the altcoin. So it's still far away, but I think we are going to repeat this, what happened here once more. But for that, we need this Bitcoin rally first. Now, the White House officially confirms Bitcoin and crypto market structure bill will be done by September, and I think this is part of the pump, right? Because the market structure bill basically will clarify where the regular territory is between the SEC and the CFTC. So who is having oversight and who is clarifying? It will clarify what is a commodity and what is a security. It will clarify that coins that are decentralized enough are automatically commodities, and many, many more points in a regulatory sense. That will give the ultimate pump to altcoins. Because many altcoins, you remember 3 years ago in the bear market, they were still pursued by the SEC. There were filings that the unregistered security listings and so on. This all has stopped already, but now we will get regulatory clarity here. And I mean, the president of the United States and his family, they have their own exchanges. They have World Liberty Finance. They have their own altcoins and so on. So you have to see that there was never a better environment for altcoins than this time into financial easing conditions that are happening right now. So this market structure bill, once it comes out, it will give massive clarity for altcoins, and it will be, in my opinion, one of the drivers that is being front run right now for the altcoin season. So massive inflows into these assets expected, and let's hear Kevin O'Leary for that. Everyone who follows shorts already knows it, but here you go.
I love the idea of innovation. The money center banks have been sitting on their hands for years, crapping on the crypto industry, but it's not about Bitcoin. Nothing to do with Bitcoin. It's digital payment systems. That's the potential. That's the amazing opportunity we have here. Now, the reason that will be important and why we'll get price appreciation on Bitcoin is the minute that happens, it will signal the move to the next act, the Market Infrastructure Act. And why that matters to everybody in this room is we will finally determine, is Bitcoin a commodity or a security? And when that is determined and regulated, Katie bar the doors, $1 trillion will come and index that asset. Let's all hope that happens while we're all alive here. Anyways, Thank you.
And it's happening while we're alive, as the White House just confirmed. Apparently it's happening between now and September somewhere. And as he said, there is $1 trillion coming indexing that asset, right? So let's see. But this is the bullish driver here, right? Then we have payments giant Klarna announces to add Bitcoin and crypto on its platform soon. I really like the way this is done, because Bitcoin and crypto, I like to use that word. There's Bitcoin and then there's crypto, right? They have 100 million users, so that is extremely bullish as well, right? Then Michael Saylor is likely to purchase new Bitcoin today or this week. Is posting the chart again. Some weeks you don't just hodl. And then someone commented rightfully, leave something for retail. But yeah, he's buying. If retail isn't buying, they are going to pick up the Satoshis behind him, right? So that is happening. Quick shout out to my beloved subscribers, to my rare hodlers. I see so much green today here, really nice. So let's see who we have in the house. We have Pro Legendary in the house, Sub Boys, When Lambo, When Wife Changing Money, PogChamp. By the way, you can use those emojis, the Degen PogChamp and so on, when you are a rare hodler. So one of the few perks that we have right now. Jonas in the house, good morning to you. Good to see you as well. Trucking Hank, as always, our trusted soldier here that doesn't miss a single stream. GM, good times, lots of shorts getting liquidated. Exactly, who is short? It was always a mistake on Bitcoin, or many times. Troy Paris, hello PH, and my green brothers. Is PH going to have a wife changing money even before he gets married? Good question, but never going to change that one. Anyways, maybe it helps with a marriage, you know. But yeah, welcome everyone. You see the rare hodlers here all around me. So make sure to check out the Rare Hodler tier if you want to subscribe to the channel in a way that supports this channel on a monthly basis. I would be really happy. And back to the bullishness here. So here is one of the craziest things, right? This is a list. You can't read it, but I'm going to show you what it is. This is a list of altcoin ETFs that are about to get approved, okay? So we do have the company, we do have the ETF name, we do have what crypto it is, if it's spot or synthetic, if it's passive or active, and where the filing date was. right? And it starts even with 2017 with multi-crypto ETFs where Grayscale already filed for some of these. We don't have an approval date here, but just to give you an insight into the list, we have here Bitwise filing for ETFs on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Near. We have Vanek for BNB. We have 21 shares for Sui. We have Canary for Sei and Tron, and Pengu and Sui. So two Sui ETFs. We have 21 shares for Dogecoin. It's absolutely degenerate. I mean, imagine you have like these ETFs. They are trying to file ETF. I mean, there are ETFs for Trump, for Melania, for Bonk, for Chainlink, a lot of XRP ETFs, Solana XRP ETFs, Hedera. I see Litecoin, some of them. It's crazy. And these are all about to get approved. So this is another way that altcoins can get money, and that the argument of this time there will be no altcoin season because the larger companies cannot roll Bitcoin profits into altcoins is out of the window the moment these get approved, because then they can, right? They can just shift from one ETF to another. Okay, so as you all know, as we all know, as everyone on Twitter already figured out probably, is the M2 is leading the wave where we are going. We do have, with still on 117, so we are a little bit higher here. We are following this M2 with the Bitcoin price, with the crypto prices. And right now, I mean, what you have to keep in mind, we have way more to go up, but you also have to see that there are dips in it, right? So there will be nasty dips coming up, and who knows, maybe this dip is coming up next, right? This thing to the downside here. And it's a possibility, right? Because look at the CME gaps, for example. There has, over the weekend, CME gap has opened at around 115, right? So now CME gaps are less accurate than in the pre-bull, because you can rally all the way up and only close them in the bear market, right? So we have one up here at 115,000 roughly, but we could also go back and close this again. Usually 98 or 95% of those get closed, basically. We didn't close this small one here, which is open at 92,000, where I would say, okay, maybe this one really stays up until the bear market, which would give us a nice, comfortable position to say, okay, very likely we're going to drop to and below 90k next bear market, right? I'd say we are going to 70k. Next bear market, depending on where we come out this time. But just for your information, nothing to worry about right now. Yeah. So global M2 leading, and now let's look at some charts here on Twitter, because people are charting the hell out of everything. So one, and some of these are just funny, right? Because okay, so Bitcoin is going to 1 million sooner than you think. So here we have one that projects basically on the upper band, and you already see the floor because last time we didn't touch it, right? We didn't touch the upper band of the bull market resistance band, so to say, that we have established over the previous bull run. So here already we didn't touch it. Maybe it's flattening out more, who knows, right? But if we were to go there, we would go to like 500k or something like that. Okay, that is one. Another chart says Bitcoin dominance is dropping. We do have a bearish cross like in November, where we had an altcoin rally. So we are going to see an altcoin rally right now. That's possible, very likely, but also remind you that it didn't last very long. And right now, Bitcoin dominance is green again, which doesn't mean that it can't happen. We really have this drop off of this trend line, but we also had it here, right? So let's be cautious, but also we like what we see. Altcoins are getting green. Altcoins are getting green, and at some point we will say, okay, we have a confirmed trend reversal, right? And the trend reversal here would be, not only do we drop off, but I thought a little bit about this. What could be our rule to avoid this here, where you would basically, everyone in their right mind, based on TA, would have predicted that this is going down. And we did it also, right? On this channel, I said that this is the start of the altcoin season here because of exactly that pattern, and it wasn't. I think one thing to acknowledge here is that we never waited if we really put in a trajectory of lower highs and lower lows, right? We did not. And you see, we also never did form any lower lows or so, right? So I think what is necessary here is really that we have a trend reversal on a more macro level, like on a weekly, to say, yes, that is an altcoin season. Anyways, I think that every drop out is good. We get pumps out of the altcoins. Another chart calling the banana zone here is the entire altcoin market cap. So basically that's the total too. And so excluding stables and Bitcoin, and trying to project the last banana zone to this banana zone that we're expecting going to, according to this guy, beyond 5 trillion. Just like 2020, this is a 1 month chart, so every candle is 1 month. He says, but this time it's bigger, faster, and backed by real world use and big money. Utility assets will lead, rotations will shock, returns will melt faces. We are entering the fun part, don't blink. And this is definitely where we are. Let's say, I'd say all of these posts, we are entering somewhat a thrill phase, and which is very hard to distinguish from the euphoria phase, but we have it, right? So we see a lot of euphoria. Here also another very bullish, and we know these bullish predictions from the last cycle, right? But here we have another one basically saying 118,000 was that, and Bitcoin is still in the middle of the lowest part of a 9-year-old channel. Lower channel hits 228,000 at the end of 2028. No bull market has ever ended without Bitcoin breaking up into a higher channel, so 300,000 possible too. Crazy, right? So we have seen these but you also see the diminishing return here, right? In that sense, which is still debatable because we don't have enough data to say, okay, the last 5 times it was like this or something like that. So it's not that conclusive. And finally, this one I like the most is the 2013 to 2017 to 21 banana comparison, where we, according to this, are only in the beginning of this massive pump. And why? So the only reason why I would say this is possible is that we just got confirmation of unprecedented money coming into the world, unprecedented M2, where, and this goes to 250k roughly, right, until it tops out here. But which I would say, okay, that's possible, right? It's absolutely possible. I won't say it isn't. and with the premise that we have of this global M2 expansion, I'd say it's absolutely possible. I mean, you look at the big beautiful bill, right? What's that? That's like $500 billion plus. That's like 600 billion bill. That is acting as a stimulus, right? There is all around the world bills like that. I mean, there is the what is it, like an 80 billion stimulus packet here in Germany or whatever it was, right? Billions upon billions to get the economies going, right? That have been in a very sluggish, recessive-like stage, but everyone is expecting the recession in 6 months, whereas I'd say the recession was basically the last 3 years. So I could see that we have a parabolic move, but I think still that we should be cautious because some indicators stand against this, right? Just as maybe the TSI here or so that shows us, okay, maybe we're going to top out earlier. And also, if everyone expects 250K, you should definitely go 40% lower or something like that, right? Which would be, so if everyone expects, so last cycle everyone expected 100K and we went 30% short, right? So if we end up from 200K 30% short, we actually end up at 138,000, which is basically at our target of 135,000, right? So it's funny how these things all coincide. But let's underestimate the targets here by 30%, right? And say the most repeated bullish target is 200,000, okay? And then there are outrageous claims like Arthur Hayes and so on of Bitcoin is going to 500,000 this cycle or whatever they're saying, right? Can it happen? Sure, everything can happen with Bitcoin, but it's rather unrealistic because it would require an additional, what is that? Like 600K from here is an additional 4. So for Bitcoin to double, it's 2 trillion. So 4 trillion is a 3x. Then we are at 360K. Then 6 trillion would put it, it's crazy. 6 plus trillion, I don't see it. I really don't see that this cycle. It's too much, yeah. But okay, to each their own and so on. Everyone believes what they want to believe, right? Let's look at the market. The market is up on the altcoins, a nice 5%-ish on average, having Bitcoin on 5%, Pengu and Algorand leading the chart or the charts here, with Pengu up 26% on the day, with Algorand 24%, and Pengu really broke out here massively of its previous pattern. Let's see if we have the Pengu USDT still somewhere. There we go. We have Pengu actually approaching all-time highs soon-ish. This is a really nice uptrend, right? And the trend is your friend until the end. So this is a weekly chart. Pengu is starting the week out slightly in the red, but that's fine, right? Pengu has a really nice chart pattern here to go with. So that's great. We have Algorand at 25%. That's also nice. We do see HBAR. And now what we do see is, before we only had the meme coins pumping and the rest was like meh. Now we do have the meme coins okay-ish, but everything else is also pumping, right? And that's the main difference here. By the way, guys, may I ask you to smash up the like button here for this live stream if you enjoy it. Subscribe to the channel, notifications on if you're bullish on Bitcoin. Be subscribed and consider becoming a rare hodler. Then you get access to the Telegram group where we, the other rare hodlers, everyone in green here, is also exchanging ideas. Make sure to get into that. We do have Sven, good morning. We have Roman, G. Ambrose. What's behind the Omi pumpings, whale games? Yeah, good question. Let's look at it in a second as well, or let's look at it right now. Let's what did I want to look at? Let's take a quick look at the total 2, because I just wanted to show you that the trajectory is in the right zone here for our big fat cup and handle pattern. Let's get rid of that. We might want to get rid of this. Okay, we can get rid of this. We might not need. Let's leave this in. And oops, that is not the one that I wanted. This one is not straight. Actually, it is. Just doesn't look like it. Okay. We're breaking out here from this previous overhead resistance, which we have a lot of confluence here, was support once for a short time. Now the way for altcoins collectively is up to challenge the all-time high once again and close the cup and handle pattern. That would be another 22% move out of the altcoins, right? So what do you think? Like, I think it's looking good, right? And that comes along with ETH. Let's look at ETH USDT, ETH is looking good here, right? It's struggling to get through this, but it will. But more important is ETH BTC, right? ETH BTC still in this reversal, right? Higher lows. Now we want a higher high, so ETH needs to do a pump. This is what we want to see. ETH 3,000 plus finally. Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's going to go way more, right? ETH is going to go way more in this. Banker doing good too. That's great. By the way, let's go through the altcoins and then go to Ecomy as well. We're going to VET quickly just to see. So VET is continuing the bounce here like it did before, right? So we might have ourselves a double bottom on the midterm here. We want to close this and then break out, right? So, and that would be our reversal pattern here on VET, with let's say first a target of going back to 5 cents, which would be already good because that's a 100% move. And then we'll see, right? But I think VeChain is one of the coins that is getting a lot of love in this channel, or on this channel and in this market as well. It has a huge community. It's growing. It has refined their tokenomics, their staking model, so really nice. Let's look at MCAD quickly, which we usually looked at on Bitmart. MCAD has also done quite nicely. It came up from these lows where, by the way, we said that's a good point to buy some MCAD here, right? It's still 64% up since that entry, right? 70 almost. You see, like, it doesn't look like nothing, but these swings are extreme, right? For example, this swing from the lower band to the upper band is a 10x range. That's so nuts, right? And this happens with small coins. So I expect this accumulation to be over at some point, and then this coin is just going to go to the moon. I do believe that, but it can happen that it doesn't happen. So your own research and so on. Bullish cross on the stochastic RSI. Just saying. Let's look quickly at Devi USDT, another one that we like. Might have found its low after correcting more than I like, but let's get rid of this. We don't need that anymore. Also these old things. The falling wedge is always nice because it will remind us also in the next bear market to how this looks and how this can look. I think also for Devi, it's probably going to do what the altcoins are going to do, right? Something like that. Let's see, but this might be the bottom. This might be the turnaround for Devi. It has already reacted. I would like to see some more volume here for Devi. Weren't we first go on holiday and then pump? We were, but it seems that some things are skipped this year. Like sell in May, go away. It was also skipped. Like sell in May, away or something like that, right? That was what really happened, right? Hit the likes, guys. Bernard Johnson, good morning, PH. Go BTC, exactly. Let's pump it to the moon. SPX 6,900 to the moon. This was one of the meme leads. So these are the altcoins in our altcoin spotlight. Things that we really liked here on this channel. But we didn't look yet at Ecomy. And that is where it gets interesting. Sorry, it's OMI USDT. That is where it gets interesting, right? So what we do see is, and this is really getting me excited. Look at that volume. Look at that volume on the pump, right? That's the largest volume since ever, basically. So we still do not have any technical confirmation here, but we get some buys at this level in. Yeah. The only time that matters is 500 and 500, says Bitcoin Recipe OG stuff. Yeah, and that would put us, for Bitcoin, that would put us at the 2nd of September. So that would be on our channel prediction for the 500-day rule. That would be sell 2nd of September at somewhere 135,000. That would be the channel prediction. Okay. Yeah. So I really hope that this is the bottom. Okay. But we cannot know for sure. Okay. What does the monthly say? Like Ecomy's perma oversold. It basically fell out of this wedge already to the downside ish. It's not really, but it's somewhere on that line. For OMI, still really hard to get out of positions without exchange for USA. I mean, USA can buy inside of the. Is it already live? Is OMI already live on this Coinbase DEX? So what we really see is that the collective, like the monthly volume was way higher here on the drop sell volume, but right now, this would be the first time that we get high green volume, okay? So we will see basically what's going to, this is what is questionable here, right? Will we see like a green volume on the month with higher, like taking out previous highs and so on, right? Also here, the rule needs to be, we want to see something like this, right? But we still have some time. Even if Bitcoin already tops in September, then still for the altcoins, there is more time to react, including Ecomy, and Ecomy being a little bit later than usually, that's also fine, right? Let's quickly look at the Vivi official channel. See if we have any bigger things here. We do have the Winter Soldier coming out as an NFT drop on Vivi. So, to be honest, I don't know what that is. Then we have Emily Strange So a lot for like particular collector families, and this is going to be interesting to see. We already do have the like collectors building in the Viviverse, so the showroom metaverse of Ecomy Vivi, basically, right? That's where the token is based. By the way, we looked at Devi earlier. I'm not sure if they already launched their exchange, but that's also going to be something interesting, right? Competition's going, engagement is there, 7,000 views on the posts, that's okay. Let's see how this develops once altcoins are getting more attention, and if there is any like bigger marketing coming out then also there. Here is set challenges for this Ultraman. What is that? Rising Emmy. Okay. Then stamp collectors are welcome on Vivi as well. Stanley Gibbons Oscar Young interview. And the Penny Red. We have the what is the Genesis key? You've unlocked something special. So this seems like a collaboration. I actually have missed this thing, but I also don't have the. Oh wait, or is this from the London police? Yeah, this is from the London police. Got it. Do you still hold Ecomy Omi coin? Yes, I do. 4.3 million Omi. I have. Didn't add. I told you along the entire year I didn't add. I still didn't add because I want to see something first. Also because I can't, right? Financing the wedding and so on. Not much more for dumping into Ecomy. Morning PH, any update on price potential for Medic Aid? What is Medic Aid, or do you mean Metacade? Metacade, we did look at it. I don't know if that comment was before or after, but we did look at it. Let's look at MCade. Oh, there it was, Metacade. Is that the official channel? I don't think so. Right. Is that, yeah, I think it's the official channel. What do we see here? Weekend Alpha from across the Rubicon. Did someone say alt season? So they're doing it right? Because this stuff has always worked. Yeah. Lambo, money, alt season, and their NFTs in one thing. They are also posting this. I'm not a technical analyst, but MCATE correlation to altcoin season index is scary accurate. We do see MCATE is in top gainers gaming on base. Has pumped quite nicely. So they are posting, they're fine, healthy. The pumpermentals are nice. So I'm confident for those guys, right? Let's see what if Devi has anything. By the way, they rebranded. This was green before, but this looks way better. I mean, this already since a longer time they rebranded. They have 37,000 followers, so nothing compared to it's less like half of MCATE, and so the Dev Exchange, I don't know if it already launched, but they're doing their thing, right? Infinite scalability, unmatched utility, bridging TradFi DeFi. So with Devi, you basically have some DeFi play. If you have ETH key, you can now redeem same mint TLP key. Okay. Wedding finance in bull run. Why not wait a year extra? I should have, but I didn't know. I actually thought that the bull run would go a little bit earlier, which would have helped. But yeah, sometimes you just can't push it out, also because of certain projects that follow this, right? Sorry, I was late driving to work. Okay, got it. No, MK's still in that accumulation range, right? Moving sideways, has done some since we said, hey, okay, here's a good point to get it. I mean, you're more to the lower middle of that accumulation range. They did like 60-70% move. But anyways, trade up, meet the token platform powering the tokenized future. So they are also building, they are posting, Devi is healthy and fine. Last post 5 days ago. I'd like to see more posts, especially in this environment, but okay. Where's the wedding taking place? In Brazil. It's going to be in big, beautiful Brazil. And I'm definitely not going to tell you exactly where it is, because otherwise I would have to extend the guest list by people that are live right now, and that is not feasible anymore. By the way, we have 37 people here watching, so make sure to smash up the like button here, really, for this channel. Pump streams are always nice. So how are we doing on Bitcoin? Okay, so we are sitting at 122,000, getting a little bit of red in here on the 1 hour chart, since we did within the last 4 hours, Bitcoin did almost 3%, which is completely nuts if you think about it. Like, if you think about how much money you need to move Bitcoin 3%, like on a, what is that, a 2 trillion asset, moving 3% intraday on a 4 hour. I mean, here's your 4 hour, like, here's the 4 hour chart. So since Sunday, it's almost up 5%. This is so nuts. I mean, imagine how this looks on a wallet like Michael Saylor's. Like how many hundreds of millions that is up right now, or how many millions you make within an hour, or Bukele, right, with El Salvador, how their wealth curve looks now because they did adopt Bitcoin. I would think that other countries want to copy that, right? This happened over the weekend, right? Bull flag. We addressed this briefly in the Telegram group. Yeah, really nice development. I do think there is going. So if we assume that the DXY is front running Bitcoin, then the next correction is already priced in here, with the DXY moving up a little bit. We hope of course that there is a turnaround and then to the downside, right? But we did see a green week here. Yeah, so also if you would want to look at indicators also, we were at the verge of oversold technically to the dollar basket here, or dollar against currency basket. Doesn't matter anything you can see, you can also stay here overbought all the time and you just go vertical and nuts. This was our last bear market right here. This is our bull market so far. So we will see how this plays out, but I'd say they want to weaken the dollar. A weaker dollar is basically an easing environment for the economy and basically worldwide, right? So weaker dollar equals pump, okay? And with that, we are more to the end here already, guys. So make sure to smash up the like button. That's really important. Be subscribed. We are going to do this way more. Because every day is a pump day now, and so let's see where we are where we are going today, where we are going over weeks and months, but we will be here with Crypto Morning Coffee, following what's important. And right now, Bitcoin and macro is the most important. So don't miss out. Tick the little bell to get notified. Also follow me on Twitter, on X, at hodlerpatient, to get notified when I go live on stream, because I'm dropping a message like, hey, GM fam, I'm going live, like I did today. So you would get that info. Sometimes I retweet when I find something interesting, but I'm on the way, can't share it on live stream or on video. Make sure to follow that as well. And other than that, guys, have a great start into the week, and wherever you are in the world, have yourselves a great morning, evening, day, night, or afternoon, and I see you tomorrow at Crypto Morning Coffee. Have a good one, everyone, and bye.